Before Elite Dangerous got a first person mode, did you ever want to play a first person version of it? Do you like survival crafting games but want more outer space vibes? Did you ever want to become a space linguist interacting with aliens to learn their dialects? Or a rogue space trader? Or just build your little space house? Can you do all or any of these things in No Man's Sky? Watch on and find out. My name is Thoraxe, and this is Strategy for Busy People. If you've got a few minutes, I'll tell you what to play. No Man's Sky by Hello Games set a precedent when it came out for just how big space could be. I put almost 15 hours into this survival crafter trying to figure out how big that was. As it turns out, with 15 hours in the game, it didn't end up that big. But that's because I didn't go very far. I'm going to say something controversial now, so hold on to your butts. Starfield is just No Man's Skyrim. I know this is a NMS review, but hear me out. I played Skyrim before I played Starfield, and Starfield before I played NMS. And, I have to say, the whole base building aspect of Starfield feels like a total ripoff of No Man's Sky. I can't really explain why, but it just does. The way you manage your power production and consumption in Starfield feels eerily similar, and the types of facilities you construct, yeah. Oh, and NMS is basically an RPG in some ways. Okay, there's no direct individual character progression. You don't say level up your strength skill, but you pick up all these missions along the way that have you traipsing all over the universe trying to find such and such for so-and-so. The mission creep should feel totally at home to any Bethesda fan, except this game is from Hello Games, not Bethesda. I'm not saying, though, that any of this is bad, mind you. No Man's Sky looks stunning, especially for a game that is nearly a decade old. The planets have unique biomes, and the day-night cycles are glorious. The flora and fauna are weird. But what's also weird is the resource harvesting. You have this little scanner doodad that shows you where underground resources are, and you do a bunch of grocery runs to build the terrain modifier attachment for your universal doohickey-me-whatsits, and you scan and can see that there's stuff underground. It's there! But then you hoover it up with the miner, and the scanner still shows that it's there, but whatever. A minor inconvenience. See what I did there? The crafting system is pretty solid as far as they go. Different resources get refined into other resources that you then use to craft yet more resources. It annoyingly takes you a while in the mission tree before you quote-unquote earn a storage container, and the storage container needs power, which is also annoying, and then you can't always easily produce things out of the stuff you have in storage. It's a bit frustrating, but ultimately, you can make bigger and better things out of things, and it's all good. One of the things I found very strange was that you can do some research at a machine in your base, but not all the research. It wasn't until you uncovered this mysterious intergalactic spaceship that you could do other research. I'm not sure if that came in a game expansion or what, but it seems very odd. You normally wouldn't encounter anyone else in the universe, and you can call this thing whenever you want, but for whatever reason, it has a bunch of people on it, and people you can join to do missions with? When you could have roamed the entire universe and never found another player? I don't know, it seems a little gimmicky. Again, this isn't bad. It just kind of is what it is. And why do I always have to fly into this thing, even though it has a warp portal and I can warp out of it? I just can't warp into it. Speaking of, the warp portals are a nice feature. You can build little bases in different galaxies and then build little warp portals and flit around intergalactically at the click of a button. If you had figured out some good resource trading routes, this would make it really easy to rake in the dough. The system of salvaging ships that you find is a bit cumbersome, where you either have to repair the heck out of them, assuming you can even remember how to find them later, or you have to follow this obscure system of calling the ship to you, which makes it your primary, and then warping to a space station where you can then salvage it. But salvaging it shows you how much money you get and then gives you stuff that you have to run around the station and sell, and some of the stuff you can't sell at the regular kiosk because it's different stuff. Are you with me? You wear this suit and it can be upgraded, and your ship can be upgraded, and you can upgrade your multi-tool thingy weapon thing, too. But it's unclear how you can add more slots sometimes to your suit, but not to your weapon, but sometimes to your ship, and not all the same way. I don't know, you figure it out. The space combat is pretty nice. You can hold down the S key, which makes your ship automatically track the closest attacker, so you don't even have to fly. You just shoot, which is cool. But it took me a while to realize that I actually had 2 guns on my ship, and I had to use a keyboard key to switch between them. Before I give my final verdict, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share with your friends. Agree with me? Disagree with me? Or want to see other content? Let me know in the comments below. Want to try this game yourself? Check out my humble affiliate link below. And if you want to support me in making more of these videos, become a patron on Patreon. Your support really makes a difference. The final verdict. This game has a lot of weird keyboard things that you have to figure out if you're going to be effective, and you will curse quite a bit when you do it wrong, especially if it results in you consuming something that you didn't want to. This is one of those games where the story is there if you want it, but you really don't have to follow it, and you can just roam and explore and do whatever you want. There are some clear main-ish storylines, and then a bunch of sub-stories and other things to explore and find. If you want to spend your time trading, you can do that. If you want to spend your time pirating and fighting, you can do that too. On my trademark 3-point score scale of avoid, meh, and I forgot to eat, I made a lot of metal plates out of ferrite powder, but couldn't make metal plates out of refined ferrite, which doesn't really make sense, and none of them are very good to eat. But there are definitely some meat chunks that you can get from killing creatures, even if nobody wants to buy them from you for a good price. But that's okay, because it's still fun.